Hi, I'm Stacy Pingree, owner of Radiant Financial Group, and this is our Legacy Wealth Builders podcast. I am so excited for our guest today because we have someone who's not only a local Litchfield Park resident that is near and dear to my heart, but she's also a really dear friend, very successful. And I'm going to do a little intro on her so that we get all the stats and details right. Um, Today, we're honored to have Ginny Solis-Wright with us. She is a West Valley resident. She embodies her community spirit. She was raised here. She navigates real estate with hometown expertise while nurturing her family. Leading her real estate team, Ginny's success has been rooted in quality, which we definitely know, quality service and local knowledge. She prides herself in empowering and uplifting women in all facets of life. She shines through her real estate team, women's organizations she supports, and women in her community, which I can attest to, been a part of it. Ginny is a current board member for Change by Fire, assisting burn survivors through fundraising and board development. And as past president of the Homeless Youth Connection and New Life Center, she raised a substantial amount of funds and assisted with board development with a commitment to community and a heart for service. Ginny embraces her role as a sales-driven professional, and she's known for her kindness. She eagerly supports team members and clients throughout the Valley, leaving a lasting impact on both the real estate industry and the community she calls home. So true. Every bit of it. I love it. So happy to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I know you have been we're going to jump right in because it's, that's
Absolutely.
what we're here to do. But I love your story. I love the idea around you being and I won't, fearless is like, I don't want to say the word fearless because there's fear,
Yeah.
but overcoming fear, right? So it
Yes.
appears to the outside world as fearless, but you have like fearlessly reinvented yourself. Again, I know it wasn't without fear, but
Yes.
I do love your story. I think that it's empowering as much as you've given and as much as you love into this community. It hasn't always been easy.
No, it has not.
So I would love for you to just kind of tell us a little bit about you and what your path has been like here.
Well, I grew up in Litchfield Park, as you know, and back in the 70s and 80s, people didn't talk about domestic violence. And, we had a beautiful home on the golf course here in Litchfield Park. Nobody knew what went on behind closed doors. And my mom actually had the courage to leave. And we had the police at our house a lot. I mean, it was just not a good environment.
Yeah.
And it was, very scary.
Yeah.
And I actually became a board member for New Life Center when they first started here in the dormitories, which was the wigwam. I was in college and kind of helped them set that up,
Oh, okay.
not knowing that I would be a big part of it down the road, and that I would share my story eventually. And my mom is just an amazing woman who raised three amazing women, I believe. We're very independent and go-getters, and I think it's because we had to be.
Yeah.
And so that happened, and then I found myself in a relationship about 20 years ago, and I was with this individual almost 12 years. We had a very successful catering and event company in the Valley. We catered the Super Bowl. We did all the VIP for the Super Bowl, high end. We were in Wall Street Journal, and the individual, I was not hit, but the emotional and narcissistic abuse was worse. I would have rather had the bruises. And my mom kept saying, they're just like your dad. And I'm like, no, nope, they're not. And it's not, absolutely. And they went to interview me. I was the keynote speaker for the Brighter Day Luncheon. It was a luncheon for 1,200 people. And I'll never forget, I was at Wildflower and they were interviewing me, and I literally lost my you-know-what. I was like, oh, I am taking my kids through exactly what I went through. I broke down. I could not even finish the interview. I said, I am going to have to leave. And I went home, packed my things, and left. My things and my children's things. Like I had no idea where I was going. And I literally left.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know how I was going to navigate because we had this catering company. I had 65 employees and I had no idea. But
Wow.
I left. I never looked back. And I found myself having to like sell jewelry because I was so prideful.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ask my family for anything. I rented a little house in the Greens. It was in a gated community, and completely started over.
Wow.
I still had the catering company, but I had to figure out how that exit was going to look
Mm-hmm.
like.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got another job for a pain management company and was doing sales on top of it so I could have an exit strategy
Yeah.
because I literally didn't know what that would look like. It was really scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
It was, but I knew that I couldn't continue on that path with my kids
Yeah.
because I needed to show them what a good life
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
and not living. And I think I stayed for so long because we had 5 children between us. And I was that mom role that, you know,
Yeah. You felt like you'd be abandoning them or whatever, but
yeah.
yeah.
And so I just stayed. And then I knew I had always wanted to sell real estate. And I woke up one day and then, well, Chris came into my life and it
Yeah.
made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what it was going to look like. And I woke up one day and I had an attorney because there was a lot of money that
Ongoing.
was,
Oh,
yeah,
which
that
is just a
because,
dump of money. Yeah.
oh, it was a year battle. And I woke up one day and I said, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I know a lot of money is owed to me, but I'm going to reinvent myself because my happiness and inner peace is more important than anything, and my children's.
Yeah.
And I woke up, called my attorney, and he was like, what are you doing? You know, you have a lot, like millions coming to you. And I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with this battle. And the sun was shining brighter. The grass looked greener.
Yeah.
And I
Weight of
took
the
a deep
world.
breath. Look, I'm getting emotional because
Yeah.
it's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a huge.
Yeah.
And I just woke up and said, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I took that real estate test. I did. I said,
So
I'm
why
going to.
real estate? What drew you to it?
Okay, so this is crazy. I was teaching first grade right out of college, and I had a dream. And my sister was in the dream. We were in some sedan, I don't know what, and we had suits and briefcases, which so not me. But we were in these beautiful homes. And I woke up from that dream that day, and I told my sister, I think we're going to sell real estate together one day.
Oh my
And
gosh.
when I sold one of my houses, the Giordano's, they're Phyllis and Carl Giordano.
Yeah.
They were who sold and helped me buy a home. And they were like, would you ever think of selling real estate? You would be so amazing at it. And I'm like, so that stuck in the back of my head. And then I had a good friend who was on the board with me at New Life, and she had a Remax
Oh.
franchise and an office. She was like, Ginny, you have to do this. So I reached out to my friend, Karen Ortega Kelly, and Kelly now, and she's an amazing friend. And I reached out to her and said, I think I'm going to do this. And she wanted me to actually have a franchise here in the park. But when I left a big business with that many employees and
Yeah.
stress,
Yeah.
the thought of even having a team, an office, I was like,
Couldn't think
no
of it.
way. I
Yeah.
couldn't even think
Yeah.
because 12 years of my life, I lost.
Yeah.
I was there physically for every one of my children's things, mentally completely checked out.
Yeah.
Like I have years that are just gone.
You don't remember.
No, I don't remember because I had to be in that mode of, are the linens going to show up? Is staff going to show up? Is chefs going to and then dealing with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and the highs and the lows. Like I was in fight or flight constantly.
Yeah. So you're stressed.
I didn't want to have a team, didn't want the overhead of an office, and which I didn't have to have
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
And then the teacher in me loves to train, and here I am with the team.
Well,
I love it.
We've loved that. We're working together now on so many different areas, right? Because
Right.
but I think so. Yeah, I mean, so you end up getting back into real estate. You obviously become very successful here because I mean, there is not a person in our, I mean, at least in the entire city, but probably like I mean, I'm going to include even like the Southwest Valley here that does not know you. Everyone knows you and doesn't have a negative thing to say about you ever. So that's to your.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been
you.
you've had you're an amazing inspiration, to women. I as a leader and as a somebody that I look up to for sure in this business. So anyway, from there, then you end up with getting on with real estate. You're successful. Things are rolling. And what year is this?
I've been in the business 13 years.
Okay, so that, yeah,
13 years.
yeah.
2000. Oh no, 12, maybe 12. I
Yeah,
don't know, maybe
yeah,
11. I think
yeah.
it was 2013.
Okay, yeah. So there,
Yeah.
so yeah. But after that's you
Yeah.
got through all that crash and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. So now, I mean, you've really you and I've talked a lot about wealth building. We talk about how powerful this can be, not only for women affected by something where they're coming out of,
Yes.
but to rebuild, right?
Yep.
But that the home itself
The
is
home.
the home is so important,
It's
and
so important.
reestablishing yourself, especially as a woman, right?
Yes.
Women have a nesting
Yes.
sense,
Yes.
right, about them more so than anybody. And I feel like it's just such a natural, what you went through is almost like this is like the perfect, I don't want to say storm because, but
But it is. But it
yeah.
is kind of like the perfect storm. Everything, it's interesting because everything that I have gone through in my life has led me to this moment.
Yeah.
And it's, for me, I'm so excited to start. So I'm not only helping women who have fled domestic violence, which a lot of them have lived in my casita. I just bring them into my home and assist. That's just who I am. But I'm also helping women starting again, starting over, whether it's a death of a spouse, divorce, domestic violence, whatever, a tragedy of some sort, because so many women of even my age are starting over and don't know what that looks like and where to begin.
Maybe they never even managed any of the house
No,
finances.
I have a client right now who never managed the finances. She's never worked outside of the home.
Yeah.
And statistics show that 86% of women that go through a divorce or a tragedy like that can go through all of their finances, all of their money, everything within 3 years because they just don't know. So it's just bringing resources to them to show them that you do have what it takes, from a yoga trauma therapist I've surrounded myself with, a life coach, an amazing lender.
The finances stuff, yeah.
The finances, budgeting.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many facets. So my dream, and I know the dream's going to be a reality because once I set my mind to something, so I want to have some healing houses, which I went to. I called it my healing house for women starting over, and just a safe place to feel good about themselves again, because the basis is self-esteem. And if you surround yourself with individuals that uplift and empower, you can do anything. I mean, if I started over 2 times this lifetime, anybody can do it. It's just making them realize how amazing they are.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree so much. I mean, we had a guest on, we talked about like the 3 things, and he talked about just energy, the energy around, the attitude that you project, and because you can change so much. I mean, you can walk into a room and change the dynamic of a room. These 3 things can always be like on your side, like your superpowers.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
So it's like, and your it was attitude, energy, and they don't want to come to me, but it was basically, like, I mean, these are the tenets of like keeping yourself positive and moving. But if you're surrounded by negativity, you just don't.
You just don't.
Yeah.
And I saw something today that I read, and it said it was a video. It was a video, and then this whole long spiel about being happy, and that her mother taught her to choose happy. That you choose happy. You can choose happy every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a choice. It truly is.
Yep.
And I think getting in that mindset of living your life in gratitude, just being grateful for one thing every day. If you can't think beyond, what is one thing that you can be grateful for?
Yeah.
And once you get into that gratitude,
that
practice, that's key to me, is daily rituals and practices and gratitude is one of them. I have a gratitude journal, and I write in it every day.
Yeah. Oh no, it's an amazing practice. Just like it's like keeping your soul right. It's like keeping your wellness of your soul, just like you work out or you do this or that. It's like it's for your soul for sure. And there's so many things to be thankful for. That's just it.
So many
You don't
things.
have to think very hard.
You do not, and you don't have to look very far.
No, exactly. So now today, so you're now on a path. I mean, I know your business exploding. You do so many cool events. I know we're gonna have some fun in
In
December here with
December with the
the
Santa in the park.
Santa in the Park. Love it. And you do this every year. You built the community website.
Yep.
Uh,
Live, love, Litchfield.
Live Lodge.
And I
Tongue
have
twister.
almost 15,000 on that page.
It's
And I
crazy.
had no clue. And it was basically for people to look at our community and, for resources,
Yeah.
Whether they need a doctor or a dentist or good restaurants
And it works like that. I jump
don't
in.
promote myself on that
No,
page.
I know.
Like I don't promote myself at all on that page. I am there to lift up other small businesses
Yep.
in our community, because that truly is the heart of our community, is small businesses. Because
Truly.
my mom was a small business owner. She had the cotton patch where Old
That's
Pueblo
right.
is now.
That's right.
And so I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit
Yeah.
from my mom.
And that's what makes you so tight into the community too. I believe like you're just uplifting everyone and being a part of, the success of others, right?
That's what
so
it's
many
about.
great-
And
yeah.
it's about giving back.
Yeah.
Like I always have to have my hands in a nonprofit of some sort and assisting in any way, because that fills me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. I love it. So now you've got a team. What are your plans? I mean, what do you see happening in real estate right now? What are your plans for your team? What's next for you guys?
Well, I didn't think I was growing, but I'm growing. I'm growing
I
my
know.
team. I'm actually an all-women team,
Uh-huh.
and always have been, by choice. Not that I love men. My husband's amazing, but I just with kind of empowering them and
Yeah.
uplifting them, it just fits with my model, with my business model.
Yep.
And we actually are growing by 4 in this next month, actually.
Incredible.
And it's just happening naturally. And so I'm going to continue to grow the team, and we're going to do like little satellites in their communities, kind of what I do in our community,
Yep.
so that they can recreate what I'm doing where they live.
I love it.
And that's what we're doing.
So big on the mentorship. I mean, to me,
Huge on mentorship.
I mean, that's what you've really built. That it's, I always say, like, what are the values of, your values are on the outside of you. You know what I mean? I
Yes.
mean, some people you don't know till you get to talk to them, but I mean, yours are community, empowerment, in education, obviously, and then creating and the ultimate experience, right? Like the ultimate experience for your clients. I think that level of quality service that you provide, and they love you, they adore you. You don't, do you advertise?
No, not really. No, I
And
don't really
we joke like,
advertise.
can't slow down these leads because it's everybody's telling me.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. I'm so, you know what? So it's interesting because, I talk to other agents and, the doom and gloom, and we have just powered through, and we're just booming.
Yeah.
And it's, most of our business is repeat clients and referrals. 100,
Yep.
almost 100%.
Yep. That's the way
And
to do it.
that's key, because it is building that relationship
Yep.
and
Trust in the community.
trust in the community, and then giving them the full service, because we go in and provide not only we do staging, you name it, from whatever they need, whatever handyman to get the house ready,
Yeah.
whatever vendor, we're a one-stop shop.
Yep.
But we also try to take the stress out of that for
Yep.
our clients, and we walk them through every step of the way.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It's so important.
And I know you've got a lot of clients that, we hear you and I talked a bit before this show about leaving a legacy, right? So, I mean, to me, real estate is such a pivotal component to that, because usually the largest purchase that anyone's going to make in their lifetime is going to be the real estate, the home that they live in.
Yes.
And then you have, if you can help people to see that can be turned into a rental property, and you can help them to grow and build a legacy for, I still think that generational wealth can be created in one lifetime with real estate.
Absolutely. And especially with my young agents, well, all my agents,
Yeah.
I'm, showing them, one of my youngest agents is going to buy their first rental pretty soon.
Yep.
And it's an, I shouldn't say easy way, because sometimes it can be tough.
Yeah.
But you can leave a legacy, and that's what I'm wanting to build for my family, and hopefully we will have a male on the team eventually. um, I wasn't quite sure. He's in San Diego, and I don't think he's going to leave. I think he'll get licensed here and in California, and I'd love to expand there.
Yeah.
And
See, I'm licensed in California.
he can fly home every couple of weeks
Yeah.
when I want to step out. And there's amazing things that you can do via Zoom.
Yep.
Thanks to COVID. That is one positive thing.
Yep.
Because you can do a lot.
You can.
And I can just see it. He has the same personality as me. And
you can replicate this. As you said, you're already replicating this. Like, hey, go to your community.
Yes.
Here's what you do.
Yes,
Here's
exactly.
What you do. You build a community page. You become the resource for people, not because you're of your own business, but because you're the one lifting up the
others in the community.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. And you can do this anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's really creating legacy.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
I love that. So we talked to you about, so on that same note though, real estate being a tool for change in the community, right? So, I mean, we've obviously seen, well, I love this community because it's such a family oriented, small feel community. But, I think it can have such a meaningful impact, to be in real estate and all that. What do you see for the growth in this part of we're exploding out here.
We are exploding.
Yeah. I mean, tell me.
It is just, and it's not stopping. And you know what I also love about our tight-knit community here, just the park, is that I am seeing, especially because one of my main clients right now are the elderly transitioning into independent and assisted living, because there are so many homeowners here in our community that have I have probably been in almost every home in the park.
Surprise me.
Literally.
That's
crazy.
Mean,
as a kid, I moved here when I was in 3rd grade from the Midwest, and I literally it's like I go on a listing appointment or I find out about a house, and I love that there are contractors coming in and redoing and revamping, and
you
and
guys have done some amazing. Some of your listings have had some just awesome upgrades and
it's just been amazing.
Yeah.
It just has been amazing, and I love seeing young families moving. That a lot of individuals that grew up here are moving back to our community to raise their family, and
we've got the development here for Litchfield Park. And
I know
Goodyear's going bananas.
Oh my gosh, Goodyear is going like gangbusters, and I think Litchfield's going to get on board.
Yeah.
I think we're getting on board. It's just taking a little longer.
We're there. We're getting close there. We're getting close.
Yes.
So what's next for you? I mean, besides, so with the healing houses, what's your vision for that? What do you think's coming next with all that?
So what I envision after the first of the year, well, first of all, I'm working on my book, my story, my life, and that's going to be a part of it. And I am going to incorporate the book, but also with I am starting a website called renaissancewoman.love.
Oh, okay.
And that is going to be the name of my nonprofit.
I love it.
Yep. Because it is starting again. It is starting the rebirth, the Renaissance Woman. It's rebirth, beginning again. And
that's amazing. It's
yes.
the first I've heard.
So I have the domain. That's the first start.
Okay.
And then I envision starting a group and eventually probably doing some speaking.
Yep.
And starting the houses.
Welcoming in those, we'll be raising money together, I'm sure.
Yes. Yep. And having
and financing some houses.
Yep. Yeah. And financing some houses. And I think that is how it's going to begin.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's interesting because when I started journaling and focusing on where I wanted this to go, a lot of the client, it's the way if whatever you want to say, God, universe, whatever, it's just flowing to me. My clients, like my past few clients, have been individuals that have literally been starting over. And one of them, actually, I don't do rentals, but I helped her get into a rental because we did 3 houses for she and her husband, and I had no idea. Usually I get feelings, had no idea what was going on.
Oh my gosh.
And so I had to get her in a rental, and then in a year or 2, we're going to work on getting her a home. And then another individual, she's in her 50s, and was going through a divorce, and I got her set up in, she bought a new build, and I
Yeah.
mean, it's just happened.
Yeah.
It's just literally naturally happening.
Yeah.
So it's unfolding.
Yeah.
So this next year, I would like to have at least 2 houses to
Yep.
start,
Yep.
and then eventually
When you
4.
guys have rentals, you have a base. You've built a foundation here for
Exactly.
yourself.
Yep.
So and you now you're past the wedding,
Yes,
daughter's wedding.
I'm past the wedding. That yes, I'm past the wedding.
Congratulations again, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah, it was
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah, it looked awesome. So you do that, get a couple of houses this next year and really start putting, and then do you envision people being able to, one family in there, or it just depends on the situation, or multiple?
I envision one family.
Okay.
I envision one
Letting them
family.
get
Yeah,
settled
one
in.
family or one woman. She could, maybe her kids are grown. One
Yeah.
family. That's what I envision.
Yeah.
And then I want to assist them with getting into their own. Like this one client of mine right now, she doesn't want their home is huge. She doesn't want to be in the house.
Yeah.
She just wants to be out.
Yeah.
She just wants to breathe again.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to create a space to where they can just breathe
Yeah. Just
and
regroup.
literally just focus on that
Yeah.
and then grow from there.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be in the home. Maybe they'll be in the home for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So that they can think outside of all of the chatter in their brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then be surrounded by someone like you,
Yeah.
someone like Kate Ship
Yeah.
and Margie,
Yeah.
and all of these incredible individuals that are going to be able to assist with them finding themselves
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, like a retrain of the spirit, it's a lot.
100%.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. I mean, learning anything at my age anymore is like difficult.
Yes, it is.
It's
And
hard.
then
Yeah.
when you have all of that extra chatter and
Yeah.
negativity in your head, you're just spinning.
Yeah.
And you don't know where to begin.
Yeah,
So I
you're
want to
stuck.
be a resource from a life coach, yoga trauma therapy, feng shui, design. I have someone that will assist with their wardrobe that they have and teach them, color palettes, and just to feel good
Alive again
and alive
create
again.
alive and created and creative
Yeah.
and all those things. I love that. I mean, I think it's such a powerful movement. I hope that whatever views we get from this podcast and whatever we put out there into to me, this is like true. We talk about legacy wealth. And We've
Yes.
talked a lot about real estate and
Yes.
deals and stuff like that, but this is like a true legacy. This is legacy wealth.
It is, because I want to teach these women that they can, what I am wanting to do, am doing, they can do.
Yeah, exactly.
They can do. And that
Who knows?
is
They might
my
even-
dream.
They might even join your team, and
Who knows? They might.
I mean,
You never know.
the mentorship. Yeah, you're such a leader in it. We do a few things together, a mastermind.
Yep.
You pour so much back into your team by being out there connecting with other leaders.
It's
And a
so
mastermind specific
important.
for team leads, right? For
Yes.
agents. But I mean, I think that anytime you're putting yourself around people that are pushing themselves, right, it just helps you push yourself.
It does.
And grow and be maybe a little less scared to stretch. But yeah, I'm happy to be a part of it. Happy to know you.
Thank you. Well, I'm
Yes.
happy to know you. I think it was destined for us to meet
Yep.
because we have so many things in common.
Yep.
And yeah, I think you guys better watch out, because what we're going to grow together is going to be pretty amazing.
I know. Well, I really appreciate you being here today. I think
Oh.
just hearing about your journey is so inspiring, and I hope it inspires others. I do feel that, and especially anyone we'll put some show notes in too about the bottom about, if anybody is struggling with
Please.
anything about in this
Yes.
realm of domestic violence, to reach out, because I think that you have got the
Absolutely.
resources.
I do have lots of resources.
And I mean, we just just the impact you're going to have on the community. I'm really just thankful, and I'm thankful for you. I'm going to write in my gratitude journal that I'm thankful for you.
Thank you.
Because I really am. I really am. And I'm thank you again for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we are going to put all of the information to reach out to Ginny Solis-Wright in the show notes today. They'll be in the bottom of under the podcast here. So if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to her there. All of her contact info will be there. And as always, we appreciate you being here today. Thanks so much for joining us.